Environmental Ethics by Almira Soriano. Char. What is environmental ethics? It is a study of the ethical basis of environment or discussion of the ethical basis of environmental protection. Environmental ethics believes that humans are a part of society as well as other living creatures, which includes plants and animals. These items are very important part of the world and are considered to be a functional part of human life. Why do we need to study environmental ethics? The practical purpose of environmental ethics is to provide a moral grounds for social policies aimed at protecting the Earth's environment and redeeming environmental degradation. Environmental ethics are a key feature of environmental studies that establishes a relationship between human and the earth. With environmental ethics, you can ensure that you are doing your part to keep the environment safe and protected. This has degraded our planet's ability to provide the services we humans need. Here are some environmental ethics principles. First, we should have profound respect for nature. People need to respect nature and living things because the environment is important. I know that hurting the environment hurts animals and pollutes the earth when we don't. Without plants and trees, we will not be able to survive. The environment is also good and healthy for you and helps you breathe. Second, we must maintain our harmonious relation with our species. Psychological self-awareness helps us understand and accept ourselves and other people for what they are. It makes us more tolerant and humble. But the ultimate spiritual method is based on freedom. Third, everyone should take responsibility for this impact of our nature. For pollution or global warming or for any such problem, people will blame the government and government will blame the people. Who should actually take responsibility in solving such problems? That's why everyone should take the responsibility for this impact on nature. Fourth, local and indigenous environmental knowledge should be respected. And last, we must plan for the long term. When we say long term, it includes overall goals for the company set for 4 or 5 years in the future and actually based on reaching the medium terms. What are some of the reasons of the environmental damage? The first one is pollution. 3 in 1, air, water, and land pollution. And the second is resource depletion. Reduction of species and habits, reduction of fossil fuels, and etc. What causes environmental pollution? The acts of human leads to environmental pollution. The stronger demand of resources is also a factor that contributes to the problem as we all need food and shelter. When these things are so desired and need the natural balance of the environment is disturbed. Engineering developments are resulting in resource depletion and environmental destruction. There are several environmental issues that have created havoc on our environment and human life. If ignored today, these ill effects are sure to crimp human existence in the near future. Sana nagets niyo yan. The ethical values for pollution control. Usefulness of non-human world for human purposes. Do you know the deep ecology? The importance of deep ecology is they give us a strong importance to the preservation of the global natural equilibrium, the variety and complexity of living beings, ecosystem, and cultures. Second, we should recognize our moral duty to protect the welfare not only human beings but also of other non-human parts of this system. Therefore, human beings have a moral obligation to conserve the environment in order to make a certain our survival and the survival of other species. Other than this perception, some people are caught up in their own self-interest deviating from their moral obligation of environmental protection. Third, humans have no rights to reduce this richness and diversity expect to satisfy vital needs. To deep ecologists, the mainstream of environmental groups' viewpoint of working to protect only those parcels of nature that are useful or necessary to human is a shallow ecology. And last one is the ideological changes is mainly the appreciating life quality rather than to increase higher standard of living. According to deep ecology, the ideological changes is mainly the appreciating life quality rather than adhering to an increasingly higher standard of living. There will be a profound awareness of the difference between big and great. Ethical values for conserving depletable resources. Number 1, proper utilization of resources. The proper utilization of resources is important for maintaining productivity because it prevents staff from underperforming or being overburdened by workloads or burning out. Projects can be managed with visibility, reducing the risk of oversights. Using resources to their maximum potential gives you a better outcome. Second, we should adopt voluntary measures to conserve the resources. Getting involved in voluntary work has benefits that can last a lifetime, not only for those who you are helping, but for you as well. And lastly, if we are to preserve enough scarce resources so that the future generation can maintain their quality of life at a satisfactory level. Scarce resources are, for example, are the workers, the equipment, raw materials, organizers used to produce scarce goods. Like more general society-wide condition of scarcity, a given resources falls into the scarce category because it has a limited availability in combination with greater potential and limited productive uses. Environmental ethics definition. Okay. First one is moral agents. In short, para masaya tayong lahat, moral agent is simply a person who has the ability to discern right from wrong and be held accountable for his or her own action. Moral agents have a moral responsibility, of course, not to cause unjustified them or unjustified harm. Traditionally, moral agency is assigned only to those who can be held responsible for their actions. Second one is moral standing. Simply, moral standing, it is like your status, your condition. In ethics, the status of an entity by virtue of which it is deserving of consideration in moral decision making. Moral standing is often key to open topics in debates like animal rights, bioethics, medical ethics, environmental ethics, of course. Kasi nga, lahat naman may rights. Then lastly is moral obligation. Moral obligation, it is also synonyms to moral duties. A duties which one owes and which he ought to perform but which is not legally bound to fulfill. These obligations are of two kinds. First, those founded on the natural right, as the obligation to be charitable, which can never enforce by the law. Okay? Now let's move on from various worldviews and ethical perspectives. These are anthropocentric, stewardship, biocentric, ecocentric, and ecofeminism. Kailangan nyo yung tandaan. Mahalaga yan. First is anthropocentric. Basically, anthropocentric, it is just parang humankind is the most important element of existence, especially opposed to God or animals. Parang Bida daw yung tao. Yun yung focus niyan. Next is, pangalawa is stewardship. Ito naman yung mga taong mga banal version. Stewardship is taking care of something like a large household. It is like a biblical worldview of stewardship. It can be consciously defined as utilizing and managing all resources God provides for all the glory of God and betterment for His creation. Ba? Mga mababait yung mga yan. Yung ganyan yung view. Next one is biocentrism. Ito naman, in short, it is the view or belief that the rights and needs of humans are not more important than those other living things. Ito yung mga tao naman na hindi sila magkasarili, mga selfless. Ganito yung view nila. Biocentrism sila. Next one is ecocentric. And ecocentrism, paano ba to? Example, yung strip mining. For example, yung strip mining, it harms environment. But it can also make natural resources that available sa atin para sa humans na kailangan natin para makasurvive. So, yung ecocentrist, mga tao na ganito yung view, would argue that because this is so harmful to the environment, basta nakaka-apekto siya ng masama sa nature, it is immoral para sa kanila. So, therefore, environmentalist policies are generally ecocentric in nature. Madalas, lahat ng environmentalist, basta nakakasama sa nature, immoral yun. Ganun sila. Lastly, is ecofeminism. May clue naman. Feminim, babae. Parang, it is a branch of feminism that na-related siya sa environment. Parang, relationship between woman and earth. Parang ganon. Parang siyang foundation. Parang, mga taong ganito, madalas yung mga ganito is mga babae. Mga tulad natin. Oh my God. Ecofeminist ang tawag sa kanila. Ecofeminist thinkers draw a concept of gender to analyze the relationship between humans and natural world. Yan yan. Okay? Then, ayan all. Para mas mabalik, kaya nyo na yan. And, the following short video is about protecting our planet and combating climate change.
The planet can survive without you. You cannot survive without the planet.
You cannot survive without the planet.
When the planet thrives, we do too. It is our common ground. And every living thing, no matter how small, sustains the whole.
And every living thing, no matter how small, sustains the whole.
As our climate changes, humans experience the violence of these
As
shifts.
our climate changes, humans experience the violence of these shifts.
The oceans rise and fall. Disasters increase.
Oceans rise and fall.
We are displaced.
Disasters
Our land is degraded.
We are
Our
displaced.
seas drown in our waste.
Our land is degraded.
We lose our luminous biodiversity. Climate change is one of the greatest challenges of our time.
Climate change is one of the greatest
We must produce and consume sustainably.
We must produce and consume sustainably.
Fight desertification and flooding. Be more resilient, more adaptive. Support sustainable cities and human settlements. We must conserve all that we love. Protect our oceans. We can guard that which gives us life. This is the story you are shaping.
Yay! Okay, and thank you. That would be all.